Yeah, your hand is shaking a ton, dude.
So, I never really pegged you as a rooftop tent kind of guy.
You mind if I sleep in there? That actually looks really comfortable.
Box 9. Thanks to Taylor and Ricky.
Where do we even begin? I feel like that's where every adventure with Zach begins, actually. Just kind of a mystery, and you really don't know what's gonna happen before or after. Does that about sum it up?
Yeah.
Ricky and I have been kicking around this idea of making a video about his first time camping for like a whole year now. So Ricky has a little bit of a secret that I don't know if he wants me to tell, but we're going to. He's never been camping.
Technically, I've been camping, just not in the way Taylor considers camping.
I mean, Georgia bushcraft is not really camping. Like, you're camping, you're in the woods, but it's not real camp. You got like porta-johns and
luxuries. Maybe I'll survive, maybe I won't.
You'll be fine.
Who knows? If I see a bear, I'm gonna hug it.
We also have this guy here who's gonna help pop Ricky's cherry. I know that sounds terrible, but like,
that sounds horrible, dude.
look at this thing. This thing looks great.
It's
You
built
got the
by,
mirror fixed. No more wooden panels holding this on. Or?
Honestly, I can't even tell the difference, dude.
What do you think I'll do on my first big camping trip?
Dude, I think you're gonna do great. I think you're gonna do great. I got my Sasquatch call, so we'll do that. We'll go snipe hunting tonight. And I hear that there's a lot of jackalopes up there. So like, dude, you're gonna get all 3 of them, all 3 in one, dude.
I should take a moment to thank the sponsors of this channel. We have Big Idea Design, who makes amazing tools and knives and pens, and one of my favorite things from them is the Bit Bar Inline. This is one of the best EDC screwdrivers ever. It's one that you'll actually want to carry. Go check them out. There's a coupon code down below. Get you 10% off. We also want to thank Worksharp. We wouldn't be doing this video if it weren't for Worksharp. So they're doing a quest right now where we're going and hiding boxes. That's what this whole thing's about. Get out there, go find your own box, get some gear, and also stay sharp. And finally, we have Huckberry. If you've been paying attention lately, you might see that I'm wearing some different clothes in some of these videos. Everything you've been seeing me wear is from Huckberry. It's your one-stop shop for all things men, but they make amazing apparel. Some of my favorite pants are the Proof Rover EDC pants. I wear them almost every day. They're great. Go check out Huckberry. It's all linked down below. Now back to the video. But as it goes with any Zach adventure, no offense, Zach, the plan goes out the window about as soon as you hit the ignition.
So we made it, what, like 2 miles out of the office? That's it? 2-3 miles?
Dude, I'm feeling pretty tired, dude. Is this where we're bedding down, or?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, the Worksharp quest has been going on for years now. It's always so much fun to make these videos. I've hit 3 boxes. I did one in the Linville Gorge, which was the first box I ever did. I also hit a box in the Cape Fear River, which was a lot of fun. Just taking a boat up the river for a while and picking an island and burying it under some trees. And then third, we went to Uwharrie National Forest. We went off-roading, and while we were out there, we just decided to throw a box in a hole in the ground and cover it up. It's always a lot of fun. But all of those boxes have been found very quickly. I think all of them within about 12 hours. And while that's great that they're found, I would much rather it be more of a challenge. So I wanted a shot at redemption, and that's exactly what I got. About 2 days before Blade Show, I got a call from Zach saying that he was gonna be in town after Blade Show, and he wanted to hide a box with me somewhere in North Carolina. Originally, I wanted to hide this 4th box in a different part of the state. I've already covered the mountains, the Piedmont, and the coast, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. So time played a big factor here, because Zach is covering the entire country, right? He's hiding boxes all over, and we only had about 24 hours to get this first box hidden. So I wanted to show him the best that North Carolina had to offer, so I took him to my favorite place in the entire state.
When I was a kid, this is before the internet. I used to order the Yellow Bean catalogs just to have pictures of places like this. It's real good.
The cowboy hat, like on that rock there, dude. This is definitely like Vogue catalog, outdoor edition.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, you just gotta squeeze it.
Squeeze it.
Oh, it went out the side.
It's
Did it bust?
It's broken. Wow, that's like pure.
It's as fresh as water gets, dude.
Whoa. I don't even know how to describe that.
This is, I had to bring the filters. It tastes so much better.
It does. Oh, that's nice.
It's worth the hike just to get this.
Agreed.
So there were some mistakes the first time I hit one of these Worksharp Quest boxes. The first being the size of the box, and that's not really my mistake or Worksharp's, but you know, I think if you're trying to hide a box, the smaller the box, the easier it is to hide. I think that's common sense. The first boxes were these really big Yeti dry boxes that were very difficult to hide. I mean, they were huge. And I hiked this thing down into the gorge. It was actually the first time I'd been into the Linville Gorge. I'd been ridgeline car camping a million times, but I'd never actually hiked or backpacked down into the gorge. So we're hiding this box. It's my first time backpacking, first time in the gorge, and I'm hiking with this big heavy box. And we hit it at I would say a place that if anybody had actually been to this place before, it's extremely recognizable. I now know that. So this time we chose something that was not going to be stumbled upon, not something that somebody would just recognize immediately. We made this an adventure. But something I hadn't considered before we chose this hike was that I didn't even realize that Ricky hadn't been on a serious hike before, meaning like, you know, rugged terrain, wilderness, a true wilderness area where trails aren't marked and a lot of elevation gain over a short period. Like, this was a serious hike. And even I had forgotten, you know, how serious the gorge can get. And another thing I had not considered is that we were going with Zach, which Zach really, really likes adventure. So if presented with the opportunity to go off trail, he's gonna take it. We decided to find some cool rocks and jump across the river.
Godspeed. If you fall in, I can't get you.
This is why you don't follow Zach. Don't follow Zach on adventures. Nice.
Hey.
It's a little sketchy.
All right, catch.
Take it from me, if you do go try to find this box, be very careful and know that you are going at your own risk. When you're on an adventure with Zach and he turns around and looks at you and says, "That was kind of sketchy," just know that that's an understatement. It was very sketchy. So we did some very sketchy stuff to hide this box. We crossed the river over the rocks. It was adventurous, to say the least. How you feeling, Ricky?
Just a little
Shaking
shake.
a little bit?
Yeah, just a little shake. It's kind of going away.
Now, I want to challenge anybody to challenge someone to climb while holding a camera
Yeah,
at the same time.
yeah.
That was a hell of a
That
hike.
was quite hard.
This was the easy hike. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Devil's Walking Stick out here.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that stuff before?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've come across it.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
It was a similar situation, very steep hillside. I went and reached for support, and I ended up with about 5 thorns stuck into my hand.
Yep, Devil's Walking Stick is no fun.
Yeah, no fun. Why would he want a walking stick like that? I don't get it.
Right, so this is the whole reason we were out here. Box 9. Thanks to Taylor and Ricky.
Yeah,
How you feeling, Taylor?
good. I feel great. I'm glad to be out here.
Good.
I've missed the woods.
We're gonna cover it up a little better, but that's your dead tree right there. We'll get a shot when it's all covered.
No trail running to this box. Not this time. I got once. It won't happen again. I promise you.
All right, so box 9, North Carolina. Here you are.
Godspeed. How's your first taste of the gorge?
Dude, it was beautiful, but wow. That's probably the most painful thing I've done in many years. But it felt so good to get out there too, though. Like, it's kind of like what Zach said, like going out here and sweating in nature is so different. It's almost like you're sweating out all the stress and like worries and toxins. Like, that was fucking awesome. Hey, I'm ready for some steaks though and sweet potatoes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I need some of that in my life right now.
And that's the first hike I've done in over a year. Well, at least in the gorge. And it's definitely different out here. If you've not been to the Linville Gorge, highly recommend it. Put in some sweat and you'll come out better for it. I have no other words except for food. Honestly, when we went out there, it had actually been over a year since I had hiked the gorge, and I did not realize just how out of hiking shape I was. I mean, I go to the gym regularly, several times a week, but I have not been hiking in a while, and I was definitely out of hiking shape. But it's always a lot of fun, regardless. But the best part of that whole experience was being able to show Ricky what it's like to have a really nice hot meal after a very strenuous hike. I made steak and sweet potato saute. So good, it was delicious. But I told him before I even cooked it, I said, this is gonna be the best steak you've ever tasted in your life. And I didn't mean that literally in the sense that it was the best steak ever, but if you've never experienced this, after a really heavy hike like that, having a steak is, no matter what the steak is or how poorly you cook it, it's literally the best thing you've ever tasted in your life. So when I finally finished the steaks, I handed Ricky his steak, and he took a bite, and he said, that is literally the best steak I've ever had. And I had to remind him, it's actually not. All I did was put salt on it, but it's so good. It's an experience that I really encourage any of you to go try. Take a steak into the woods, go hike really hard, and then cook that steak. And if you have the chance, cook that steak on a rock. That's the real way. But regardless, it was really fun to show Ricky that side of something that I love so much. And it was a great experience all around. We didn't get a lot of footage of this because 1, we were dog tired, 2, it was dark, and 3, the only thing I cared about was getting that steak in my mouth because I was so hungry. I'm on a really shoddy feather stick here, really just to catch. We're not trying to catch sparks. We're just gonna hit it with the torch.
Wow.
Do it real fast, like.
Here I was like, oh, we'll do it the bushcraft way, like the way that the guys taught me, and you're just like, the modern bushcraft way.
I normally would practice with a ferro rod. But we just hiked a lot, and it's getting dark, and I'd just rather have some steak right now. So
good idea. How many field notes papers do you use?
1 field note, 1 match.
Way to make me feel like shit.
1 field note, 1 match.
Way to make me feel like shit, Zach. I'm gonna fart in your fucking rooftop tent.
in your general direction. The people before us were kind enough to leave this hard oak that was like already split. This is not gonna go out. It's got a big old piece of fat wood in it and oak all around it.
That's one thing you guys have out here that we don't have out west. There is fat wood, but like, especially in the desert, like, you don't get fat wood in the desert.
Do you know Taylor's nickname in high school is Fat Wood?
Fat wood. All right, so I've been on the road for like 3 weeks, and I've been just crushing, like just going, trying to get as many boxes down as I can, and trying to make it a blade show on time. So finally, this is literally the first campsite I've been in. I've been in truck stops, and I've been on the side of the road, and I've been in parking lots. Like, that's what I've been doing. So I haven't used the rooftop tent. I've been living in the front seat of this Tacoma. Yeah.
Can I sleep in there? I want to sleep in the rooftop tent.
Dude, I was just talking about how I'm going to set this thing up right now. So you can totally sleep in it tonight.
Yeah. Thanks.
So apparently I'm not going to sleep in it the first time I open it, but Oregon Truck and Auto Authority built an amazing Tacoma. This is an FSR tent. It should be pretty easy, but I have had experiences in the past with rooftop tents where they are not easy. So let's open it for the first time and see if it's going to be easy. I think we got everything open. Everything should be open. I've got a ladder there that I can extend here in a minute. Usually, you just give it a little. Okay, we might be. Okay. Is this a clamshell?
No, I think it goes up from this side as well.
Whoa.
Kind of like a Z.
This is a fancy boy.
Oh yeah. The top, yep. There it is, and you enter from this side over here.
Ooh. That's fancy.
You've had this thing for 3 weeks.
I know, and this is literally the first time I've had time. Because...
And then you're offering it to Ricky.
I mean, why not, right?
Who is camping for the first time.
Why not? He's camping for the first time, so I'm gonna give him the experience. So it looks like we'll put the ladder up to the side here. I'm gonna close it up so the bugs don't get in for Ricky. And then tomorrow morning is gonna be the real test, and tomorrow morning will be the real reason that I haven't opened this thing yet. Because there's gonna be a big thing about how hard it is to close. With it being soft-sided like that, is it gonna try to burrito out? We'll see in the morning, but we're halfway there.
Every year, too, Georgia Bushcraft, Brandon Curran gave me his 10-person tent.
That's true.
Now I get a whole...
Ramada Inn.
Dude, I like camping. Camping's fun.
This
We
is,
should have done this sooner.
yeah, totally.
Oh, thanks, man. How'd you sleep?
I slept like a baby. Real question is, how did you sleep?
I slept really damn well.
First
It
night
was-
in a rooftop tent?
Yeah, dude. It's a luxury. I can see why people enjoy them as much as they do.
Oh, yeah.
But keep in mind, I've also slept in a 10-person tent and then a pop-up tent. I will say, like, adding that little mattress, game changer.
Oh, yeah.
That mattress did.
Yep.
It was good. And there's a sense of security being off the ground. Which,
Off
I mean, like
10 feet in the air.
yeah, like nothing's going to happen to me, but still, like that added, like, benefit. So that was cool. What's the plan for today?
The plan today is to go hide another box. Originally, we were on for one box, and then this has snowballed, so now we're going to go hide another box. All we have left is put this table up and dry out my socks.
I wish I didn't do that on camera.
When we woke up that Friday, the very next morning, we had a plan to hide another box in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. And knowing that camping in Tennessee is a little bit tricky, they don't really have dispersed camping like we do in North Carolina, I called our friend TC, who works at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and asked him if he knew of any spots or knew of anybody that had some land that we could use. We just wanted to be able to camp and not, sleep in a parking lot in our trucks like Zach loves to do. And of course, we had to show him one of the coolest places. The biggest flex in the mountains of North Carolina is probably the Sierra Nevada Brewery, which is really amazing. If you like going to breweries, this place is great. Not only is the beer good, the food is incredible, but the service at Sierra Nevada Brewery is the best I've ever had. And I don't say that as hyperbole. It's literally the best service I've ever had at any restaurant. You place your order and the food comes out within minutes, like 2 minutes or less. Like, it's kind of unbelievable how good they are at serving. Even if there's a wait to get a table, the food comes out almost as fast as you order it.
So it's been maybe, I don't know, like 10 minutes since we ordered. Zach ran off to the bathroom thinking that the food would take a while to get here. This is what we got. All of this showed up like, I don't know.
Within 2 minutes.
Yeah, within 2 minutes of Zach leaving.
Which is really quite an awesome experience. But that's, I'm off topic here. TC told us that there were a few options if we made it into Sevierville. And before we got off the phone, TC told us that he's actually performing that night. So he told us if we were in town, we could actually come see him perform in the Array, which I got off the phone with TC. I called Zach to kind of confirm and figure out what we were going to do that night. And he's like, hey, we need to truck on. I got to get these boxes hidden. So I would love to do that, but we need to go on a hike and hide another box. And then about 5 minutes later, Zach called me and pulled a Zach. He said, when am I ever gonna be in this part of Tennessee when TC's performing again? Let's go to the show. So that's what we did. We didn't hide a second box. We actually went and saw TC perform, which was really awesome to see. And then we also kind of set up this impromptu meet and greet at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. So because of all that, and because there's just a little bit of land at the store, we ended up camping at Smoky Mountain Knife Works in a little grass patch down by the store right on the French Broad River, which was also kind of cool. But then we woke up the next morning and we did a meet and greet at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, which ended up being awesome. I was afraid that because it was so last minute and we didn't really pump it or talk about it all that much, that not anybody would show up, but that wasn't the case at all. A lot of people came. We talked to people for probably 3+ hours, which was really great. So if you came out to Smoky Mountain Knife Works for the meet and greet, thank you very much for one, paying attention, and two, coming to hang out and talk for a little bit. It was really awesome. So that's where we're at with this. It was an impromptu trip. I got a random call on a random weekday from Zach Whitmore and went on a trip that went sideways immediately. The plans were really shaky to begin with, which is kind of the allure of going on a trip with Zach. You never know what's gonna happen. It's always fun. And it always reminds me that I should probably get out and do more adventuring because I get so, locked into my ways, just trying to trudge through this whole YouTube and running a store kind of thing that I don't adventure. Like, that was the whole point to begin with, is go out and adventure. And I think we unlocked something in Ricky. He is a totally different person than he was 2 weeks ago. Ricky in the Wild is his new Instagram handle. Joking aside, The amount of effort that Zach is putting into hiding each one of these boxes is insane. I don't know how to explain to you how awesome of a job he's doing. Like, we saw it firsthand, but he is the only person I think that could pull this whole thing off, hiding 35 boxes around the country in what feels like no time. He is a wild man. He is amazing. Please go follow his adventures on Worksharp in the wild. And if he is near you hiding a box, go find that box. Go on an adventure, get out there and go find the box, because you're gonna have a wild time. Regardless of where it is or how he's hidden it, it's gonna be fun. And that's kind of the whole point of this video and the Worksharp quest, is get out there, go find an adventure and have fun and maybe win some gear. So that's all I have to say. I don't really know where else to go from here, so that's it. See you guys. Bye.
Let's be clear here. If Zach offers you an adventure, you don't say no.
Are you surprised by the amount of camping EDC gear that he has?
Oh no, dude. He even had like a straw for stoking the fire. He had like a titanium collapsing straw.
Not titanium.
No, it was. Don't let him lie to you. It was titanium. It was titanium. I think it was anodized too.
Well, Zach is using like a bendy straw.
No, I just use it on my hands and knees, blowing the
Yeah,
fire
like a
caveman.
man.
That when I'm on road trips and stuff, I just pull over wherever I can, side of the road, rest stop, parking lot, truck stop, whatever it is, and I just camp in my car. So I think tonight we might try that. Heck, we might even try to. We're going to Smoky Mountain Knife Works tomorrow morning, and we might just go park in their camping. We might go camp in their parking lot.
Camp in their parking.
Boom, got it.
Park in their camping, baby.
Oh, Jesus